Hi everyone, it's Miss Parsons and this is our first Year 2 English session of this week. So first, let's just recap last week's learning on fact files. So let's just remind ourselves what a fact file looks like. So I'm going to show you the two examples we had last week. What features do you remember from last week's lessons? I've given you some hints there with the arrows. What are these different features called? Do you remember? So we have a heading. So the heading, remember, is the title. It tells us what the fact files are going to be about. So here we had the fox and the barn owl. Then we have images. It's really important to use images in your fact files so that then people know what you're talking about. They might not know or have not seen what it is that you're talking about. Subheadings. So remember we said subheadings separate each paragraph. So here our subheadings were amazing facts, what do foxes eat, and where do they live? We're going to be thinking of some of our own subheadings for our own fact files a little later today. We've got paragraphs, so each of the subheadings separates those sections into paragraphs, so it's easy to read the fact file. And then, of course, we need interesting facts to create a fact file. So today we're going to start researching and writing our own fact files on a subject of our choice. So you might be really interested in a certain animal or a type of car or a sport or maybe a famous person, and you're going to choose something that you're going to write a fact file about today. So I've decided that today I'd quite like to do a fact file all about pugs because pugs are one of my favourite animals. So have a little think, what is it that you want to be researching and writing a fact file on today? So what will you be researching? Before we start our research, let's first think of an appropriate heading for our fact file. So now that you've chosen what it is that you want to research, you need to think of an appropriate heading. So as mine is about pugs, I might have facts about pugs, all about pugs, information on pugs. So now I want you to think, what is your fact file on? So what would be an appropriate heading or title for your fact file? And then when you've chosen it, I want you to write it down wherever you're working and then underline it at the top of your page so that it's really clear that that is your heading, your title. So next we want to research the first thing that we're going to be researching on our chosen topic. So I want to think about what pugs look like maybe, or where they originate from, or what they like to eat. So I want you to think about what are the two or three things you'd like to research for your topic, because these are going to make your subheadings. So each of your paragraphs will be about each of these things. And then when you have chosen, you can generate your subheadings just like I've done here for each paragraph of your fact file. So again, feel free to pause the video as you're doing this. So far you've got your heading, which is your title, and then you've done a subheading for your first paragraph, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So now you can start researching the things that are relating to your topic for your first paragraph. So I chose to think about and research, what do pugs look like? So these are some of the facts that I found. So we've got here, pugs are known for their curly tails that curve up towards their bodies. Pugs are brachycephalic, meaning their noses are pushed in more than other dogs. Whilst cute, these smushed faces can lead to some breathing problems. And then the third one, their facial structure makes it difficult to take long and deep breaths, which is why you might hear a pug snuffling while running around. So now I want you to do your research on your first paragraph, and then once you've got these three facts, come back to this video for the next slide. So just like we did last week, we're now going to use our Professor Know-It-All sentence stems to put these sentences in for our first paragraph of our fact file. So you can see here, these are our Professor Know-It-All sentence stems. You know these really, really well. We've used these when we wrote about the Dominican Republic, when we wrote about Charles Dickens as well. So we've got, let me tell you about, vets or historians, or you could have scientists say, did you know, as a matter of fact, amazingly, interestingly, and unfortunately. So just like we did last week with our last fact files on the Dominican, we're now going to take the sentence stems and our facts and put them together. So here I have used the sentence stem, did you know? So did you know pugs are brachycephalic, meaning their noses are pushed in more than other dogs? Then here I've used the sentence stem, unfortunately. So unfortunately, their facial structure makes it difficult to take long and deep breaths, which is why you might hear a pug snuffling whilst running around. So now what I'd like you to do is use your sentence stems to help you complete your facts that you found. So now you'll be able to write your first paragraph on your fact file using the sentence stems to help you. So don't forget to include those commas to separate facts, or even brackets and colons for that extra information. And I can't wait to see what your fact files are going to be about. So make sure you share them with us, tweet us, email us, take pictures, share on Zoom as well. Can't wait to see what you've been researching.